practice paying off.
Hello there, this is Project Swift from DotA is Hard, and I'm coming in partway through this draft, so a few heroes been picked and banned, as you can see there. So, quick analysis. It's an interesting looking game. I like the interesting picks of the Naga Siren and the Dragon Knight. So Dragon Knight would probably be going mid, but I kinda like it. The 2 long second stuns with the Dragon Knight's AoE attacks in the Elder Dragon form goes well with the Riptide, and all that armor reduction will definitely help with that AoE damage, so that's quite good. Meanwhile, in the Dire side, they're going very sort of slippery, I guess. So they're squeezing around all over the place, got the Weaver and the Nature's Prophet, so jumping around all over the place, difficult to kill, difficult to find, and doing that sort of split pushing tactics, so that should be interesting. But with that, a quick initial analysis under my belt. This is, as I said before, this is Project Swift from DotA is Hard. For those of you who don't know, DotA is Hard is an Australian and New Zealand in-house community. We get together usually on Wednesday nights, but matches are happening throughout the week. So Wednesday night, 6:30 PM Australian Eastern Standard Time is when the majority of the matches start. But yeah, all the players in the community come together and we play in-house matches, lots of captain's mode matches. People try out different strategies, people try different little tricks and tactics, and good fun little things happen all over the place. And everybody's happy, friendly, and willing to learn from one another, and it's really interesting community, really great. Please come along. We welcome new players. We're happy to we're happy to train new players. And teach them some of the things people like new players new to DotA, as well as players who are new to captain's mode. We're happy to new players of all skill levels. As I like to think, you never actually get good at DotA, you just sort of suck less at it. But yes, so please come along, check us out on Facebook at www.facebook.com/DotA is Hard. Check us out in the Steam community. Please just search DotA is Hard, you'll find us. Also, number of posts on Reddit, you might see it there. Also, I have a YouTube channel where I post all my casted games, but if you're watching this one, you probably know the YouTube channel already, but it's www.youtube.com/ProjectSwiftDIH. And yeah, so all my matches are there, but we also have a number of other casters and streamers in the community. There's Spec DotA at Twitch TV, or twitch.tv//Spec DotA. We've got a couple of other casters who are fairly new. I don't know their details off the top of their head, but they advertise them in the chat channels and they advertise them on Facebook. So please just check them out. They're all up and they're willing to cast matches. So if you want to get in on some casted matches, you can go back and look at what casters are saying about things. Please come along. Check it out. Great opportunity to learn. You can go back and rewatch your matches with that little bit of that extra bit of insight into your matches and see see how everything fits together. It's great opportunity to learn. I thoroughly encourage everyone to come along and give it a try. But in this match, it's looking interesting. So so far that has been picked out while I've been rambling along. We've picked up a Treant Protector, so that's a Treant Protector Weaver combo. It's not a lane combo for those of you who don't know. Basically, Weaver goes in the off lane, so solo long lane, and Treant Protector is one of the supports in the safe lane. Basically, just stacks and pulls, and just keeps that shield up on the Weaver. So Weaver is quite difficult to kill with his Shikuchi, making him invisible and giving him max movement speed every so often. Very reasonably short cooldown. What the Weaver is weak to is being nuked down, just being bursted down by spells, and Treant Protector stops that with the living armor. Global cast, blocks a lot of damage, can block up to 80 damage on level 1, and that jumps up, that improves astronomically with levels. On level level 4, it can block up to 560 damage if I did my maths correctly. 7 instances of damage with 80 damage blocked, so can block up to 560 damage, I think I said. So yeah, it can block quite a lot. So that's been added. Jakiro's been added, so we've got some dragons going on here. We've got Dragon Knight and Jakiro, also the Gyrocopter, so we've got lots of AoE happening here. The Naga Siren might be able to set some serious things up with Song of the Siren. Song of the Siren straight into like Macropyre, Ice Path, into a massive call down from the Gyrocopter, following it all up with Flak Cannon as well as the Dragon, the Elder Dragon form from the Dragon Knight. That's lots of area of effect damage. But on the other side, Rubik has been picked up as a support, and that gives him lots of really cool spells to steal. There's heaps going on here. He's got Net, Riptide Song, he's got Breathe Fire, he's got the stun, he's can get Elder Dragon form. It's okay on Rubik, it's not bad. Ice Path on Rubik is disgustingly good. Because Rubik has like an instant cast speed, so with Jakiro, Ice Path has that massive wind up that's like at least a quarter of a second, but probably longer, probably closer to half a second of that wind up, and then he casts. With Rubik just goes Ice Path, go, and he can even pick you up an Ice Path underneath you and just drop you straight into the Ice Path. So it's disgustingly good on Rubik.
5 seconds.
Yeah, so just waiting on the last picks. More AoE was banned out by the DotA team, so they didn't want to add to that, but they picked up the Radiant team have picked up Marana. Meanwhile, the ban of the Timbersaw for the Radiant team I feel is a bit odd, because right now the DotA team is looking for like a safe lane hero. They've got the Weaver for the long lane, they've got the Nature's Prophet for mid. They can interchange these two, put the Nature's Prophet on the long lane and the Weaver in mid. And they've got the Treant Protector and the Rubik, so that is a highly defensive safe lane. So they could have...
5 seconds.
With... really defensive safe lane. They sort of need another highly defensive carry, I feel. And Timbersaw is not that. That's not someone they picked out. They could possibly pick up Sniper. I'm a big fan of Sniper. A lot of players... I don't see Sniper picked up at all, but I feel that he's like my little pocket strat sort of thing. A lot of players don't expect a Sniper. And yeah, he's sort of like, he's a ultra defensive hyper carry, so he sort of sits at the back. He can sit right back at a long range after a few levels. It sort of keeps him out of the firing line. Does need to be on the safe lane or the solo mid, as he is very easily ganked. But yeah, with like some hyper defensive supports like a Treant Protector or the Rubik, you can't really go aggressive on a lane very easily. So getting a really defensive support like a Sniper, a really defensive carry like a Sniper goes reasonably well with them. But they do opt for the Luna instead. So that will be interesting. That'll give, if the Treant Protector is able to land a few hits on any of the supports, hit the Marana in the long lane, with Luna's aura, he'll be doing, 103 base damage on level 1. So he'll be able to hit that Marana, auto-attack that Marana for 103 damage. That will be huge. Be able to kill Marana in 4 hits. Oh, 5 hits, technically. But with the other 2 heroes there pounding hit, the Marana won't last very long at all if he's caught in melee range up against the Treant Protector. And that is something that a lot of people discount with the Treant Protector. He does a huge amount of damage at level 1 just with his general auto attacks. So, as you can see, they're 85 base damage. So it's massive. And then, as soon as... Well, it won't be quite as high as I said, but yeah, if Luna chooses to pick up Luna Blessing level 1, that damage is going to be boosted by another 14, so that'll jump up to 99 damage, and he doesn't even have any items yet. Well, he doesn't have many items because he's going support, no regen or anything, but does have wards. Meanwhile, on the Radiant team, very aggressive team fight. So, let us introduce a few heroes. So, the captain will be playing Dragon Knight, and that's going to be Burning... Come on, I gotta think up a clean name for this. Well, I won't be able to get in too quick, but I'll call him Burning Pudding. Because, you know, like spotted dick is a sort of pudding, that pudding that they eat in England, that's like got filled with sultanas and stuff, so he can be Burning Pudding. Why not? But yes, lots of pings happening. They're wandering up in here. I won't introduce people at the moment, but I can continue on a little bit. Lattice will be playing the Naga Sign. A Squirtle is going to be playing Marana on the long lane. It looks like they're warding. They're going to try and stop as much of the Treant jungle as possible, but the Marana's being caught out. They're thrown straight into the center of a Rubik and a Luna, and he picked up Sacred Arrow level 1. And does eat through the trees, but right now the Jakiro is in a lot of danger. Both these heroes took a lot of damage just from that level 1. That Lunar Blessing, adding 14 attack damage per hit, adds a lot of damage over a fight. Extended fights on level 1 does huge amount of damage. But it looks like we've got an aggressive trial lane. Anyway, continuing on, we've got Shocks playing the Jakiro with J-Bone going carry on the Gyrocopter solo safe lane. We've got the Nature's Prophet played by Vivi on the solo long lane for the Dire. K is going to be playing the Luna. The Rubik will be played by EJ, the Treant Protector will be played by Lisbene, and the solo mid will be played by Meridus, which is the Weaver. So, it looks like we've got Trilane versus Trilane. So, the Radiant team is running an aggressive Trilane up against this highly defensive safe lane. The Treant Protector stacking, set up Sentry Ward here, so nope, that's a Dire Sentry Ward. Also Dire Observer Ward here. This Observer Ward should be dewarded fairly quickly once this Treant Protector has noticed it. Another Dire Sentry Ward is going down there. A net straight into an arrow, few seconds stun. Jakiro missed that ice, whiffed the ice path, but did hit the Luna with it, I believe. Meanwhile, this Marana's taken a lot of damage just from those auto attacks, so it's going to be difficult for this aggressive Trilane, I feel. They're going to have a bit of a rough time up against this Trilane. Like, the Luna with that Lunar Blessing is adding a lot of damage. Meanwhile, the Rubik is able to pick up and throw people around with telekinesis, and the Treant Protector is keeping people nice and healthy. They haven't found this Observer Ward yet. But yes, the Treant Protector is keeping people nice and healthy with that living armor. As you can see down here on the safe lane, this Nature's Prophet going up against the Gyrocopter. Gyrocopter's picked up going flat cannon and rocket barrage, hasn't opted to pick up a level in homing missile, but Nature's Prophet just happily healing up thanks to that. Thanks to the living armor from the Treant Protector. Net into an arrow. That's a 3-second stun from that arrow. This Centaur's coming in, joining the party, doing a little bit of damage. That Jewel Breath burns straight through that living armor. Living armor was placed on the Luna, got burned straight through by that ticking damage. Yeah, so Luna takes a little bit of damage, but no real danger from dying there. But that net into that arrow was a scary combo, adding a lot of damage to this Trilane. But they got to be careful. They got to be careful because this Luna is still doing heaps of damage with Lunar Blessing, and now that Lucent Beam is being leveled up, that's going to be adding a fair bit of nuke damage as well. This Rubik only just ticked over to level 2, has an extra 70 damage from Fade Bolt, not adding a huge amount at the moment, but definitely this Luna will be adding so much damage. As you can see here, Blades of Attack, that's the hero that they've got to watch out for. Although, Luna has to watch out herself, as she can be nuked down quite easily. We've got a net. No, all the creeps stood in the way. There was a bit of an off net, as all the creeps were in the way, so unable to Sacred Arrow. Could have been followed up by an Ice Path, but they decided against it. But yes, Luna being kept nice and healthy by this living armor from the tree. Tree continuing, yes, doing some pulls, pulling into this lane here. Got stunned by a Centaur. Might be... Nope. Luna followed in. Jakiro was thinking of contesting it, but Luna followed in, do a fair bit of damage. Ice Path, arrow was thrown out, missed the arrow, should have thrown it off a little bit to the side. Living Armor goes straight on and heals that Luna back up a little bit. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, I'll bring up some last hits. So in the middle lane here, this Weaver's going up against the Dragon Knight. Dragon Knight is nice and healthy, doing a fair bit of damage to the Weaver. Weaver's picked up a pretty quick ring of Aquila. Has got a nice amount of last hits. Has got a nice amount of last hits under his belt. Got 20 last hits compared to the Dragon Knight's 12. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane here, the solo Gyrocopter up against the solo Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet has got 11 last hits, while the wait, what? Hastrun ran up, picked off the Rubik, missed the first blood. Damn it! I like to think that I don't miss the first blood very often, but Gyrocopter is going quite well up against this, up against the Nature's Prophet, which has been forced to teleport back to base. So, good pick off there, which will definitely help this aggressive tri-lane get back into it a little bit. They've sort of lost a bit of their momentum, tried a few good goes, didn't really manage to catch anything out, but this gank from the Dragon Knight with that haste rune, catching out that Rubik, will definitely help. Would also help him sort of catch up on that money a little bit with the Weaver. If you have a look at the net worth there, yeah, caught him up. He's just that first blood gold sitting just in front of the Weaver. He missed that breath of fire on the Weaver, so Weaver did manage to sneak out of the way of that. And he's keeping very, very healthy still from that living armor. Tram Protector is currently only level 1. Yeah, I still find it odd that they weren't able to, like, they didn't look close enough to try and deward this ward. They had the sentry ward there, but they just missed this ward, so it's still blocking for another few minutes. So this Tram Protector is still on level 1, and that's going to be a bit of a problem later on. But the rest, the Radiant team are sort of sneaking ahead a little bit. This Gyrocopter picking up the kill on the Nature's Prophet did use his ultimate for that kill perfectly fine. Nature's Prophet's only level 5 at the moment. Has picked up Gloves of Haste, Ring of Basilisk, has opted to not go for any sort of stat items, doesn't have any branches to help out. Could be a reason why he's having a little bit of a rough time in the safe lane here. I mean, in the long lane, up against the Gyrocopter. Meanwhile, Weaver has picked up some boots, so does have that little bit of extra movement speed. Harassing this Dragon Knight not threatening him too much, but Dragon Knight does have that double damage rune, is running around, getting those, finding those runes, putting them in the bottle, and that's keeping his regen up, along with that little bit of extra from Dragon Blood, allowing him to contest against, to contest against that Weaver in this lane. So, just having a look at the Radiant supports. The Dire supports at the moment. The Jakiro's gone. Oh, he's going to take a fair bit of damage from that Nature's Prophet ultimate. Kind of lucky that he didn't chase in. This Luna's Lucent Beam is getting higher, so we'll be able to sort of could start just nuking people and harassing them. This Lucent Beam will bring that Mirana could have brought that Mirana pretty damn close to like killing him, and yeah, could have happily thrown out a few extra. Throwing out a few extra of these Lucent Beams would not be too detrimental at all. I mean, it's only 110 mana. And yeah, definitely when that Mirana was that low, probably would have had to send her back to base. Pings are happening on that creep camp there, so they probably figured that ward has run out by now, and they're available to continue pulling. So Mirana, where did those wards go? Wards are going on to the Naga Siren, so Naga Siren has some wards, and they're ready to block that pool camp again, continuing that aggression. So, this, there we are, pings are happening. They've wandered over the top of, this Dire Sentry ward. Dire Observer ward. This is a fantastic ward for the Dire, by the way. If the Radiant are pulling, lots of damage going on. The Rubik gets picked off by a Mirana, stray Mirana arrow. One more shot on top of the Naga Siren. Nature's Prophet teleports in, does have an ultimate in 1 second, but the auto attacks go in. He casted ultimate on the wrong side of the map. Should have casted on the other side, but it doesn't matter too much as they get the 3 kills. So teleport in from the Nature's Prophet. That was a Rubik for 3 heroes, and that is quite a turnaround for this defensive tri-lane right now. That's something you got to watch out for the Nature's Prophet, especially when he's on the off lane up against the solo. If he's able to get those levels up, he's going to be able to jump into those fights later on. Up in, like, from 5 minutes onwards, he'll be there. He'll jump in, he'll tree you, he'll use his ultimate. It adds a lot of damage to a fight. Definitely something that you got to watch out for. Mirana has sneaked back, is being spotted out by this ward here. Launched an arrow and did manage to connect it with that Luna. Got that yes, did get that arrow in. Gets the few auto attacks in before the Rubik is able to come along and help. Naga's thrown in a little net. And, Rubik still has that telekinesis. Did throw it down. Did miss the stun on the Mirana. Mirana's throwing out a few attacks. Has disconnect. Throws out that arrow. Point blank arrow. The heal is straight onto the Rubik, the living armor, but it's not enough. Mirana manages to out damage the living armor and pick off that Rubik again.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Dragon Knight has picked up a Shadow Amulet, going straight for it. Has opted to bypass treads. He's bypassing a magic stick as well. Up against the Weaver, could be good idea to go magic stick, as he is going to be using that Shikuchi fairly often, but I guess Dragon Knight feels as though these Gyrocopter's picked up the tower on the bottom lane. But yes, Dragon Knight feels as though the bottle, running around using the bottle, getting those runes is enough to keep his regen high enough to really seriously contest this Weaver. The last hits is a bit sketchy, but that's to be expected. Dragon Knight going up against the Weaver. Weaver does have the option, does have that Germinate attack, has much better last hitting potential over the top of a Dragon Knight. But still, it's a fairly decisive gap. Another interesting thing that I just noticed is that Weaver has opted to max out the Swarm over the top of Germinate attack. So has maxed Shikuchi, which is fairly normal, but has opted to max out the Swarm. So getting that the extra damage and the duration and the armor reduction, and that reducing the cooldown as well. So that ward has been taken out by the Treant Protector. Yeah, so they will be able to continue the pull on the top lane. But yes, interesting choice of skill there from the Weaver. Excuse me. These two supports are just sort of wandering around at the moment. They've sort of had a bit of trouble up against the tri-lane. As you can see, the kills and deaths there. They did manage to pick off the Rubik a few times. They did manage to pick off the Luna once. They've all paid for it once themselves, but Luna's still managing to find a decent amount of farm. Not a huge amount, not compared to the Gyrocopter on the safe lane up against that Nature's Prophet, but Nature's Prophet's not doing too badly compared to the 3 on the off lane here. So it's all sort of weighing up a bit. And yeah, as it ticks over to the 12-minute mark, they're going on the Luna. Nope, as it ticks over to the 12-minute mark, as you can see, the experience and the gold are shifting into the Radiant's favor. Luna uses massive ultimate, catching a lot of damage on top of the Naga Siren as well as the Mirana, but they do manage to turn around a massive Jewel Breath, Ice Path, and Arrow combo onto the Luna. Meanwhile, the Rubik turns around, picks up the kill on the Naga Siren. Nature's Prophet's teleporting in, threatening a fair bit of people, but Jakiro doesn't matter. He's just going full dragon to the face, turns around, blast of fire, and Mirana comes straight in with that ultimate. One more attack, that bloody, what's it called, flat cannon coming out from the Gyrocopter. Gyrocopter teleports straight in, gets double kill, and Jakiro picks up the last hit on the Rubik. So that is 4 kills to the Radiant team. That pretty massive turnaround. That teleport in, initiation from the Dire team, follow-ups, but the teleport in from the Nature's Prophet as well from the Dire team, but Gyrocopter was onto it. He has pushed bottom lane. He's looking for opportunities to jump in and get kills now. He has those levels. He has that money, and he jumped in and he made himself known. The Dire team are going to know that this Gyrocopter is around after that fight. They're going to be looking out for him now. Top tower has been pushed. Bottom tower has been pushed. Radiant have set their sights on the mid tower. They've teleported in. Gyrocopter's teleported in. They want to get this pick off on the Weaver. The Dragon Knight's going straight in. A missile has been placed on the Weaver. Probably going to be able to Shikuchi out of that, especially as it's going in under the tower. But definitely time to apply some pressure to the Weaver. So the Weaver is currently leading the last hits for the Dire team. And I think the Radiant team want to end that. Gyrocopter's got plenty of last hits, got 3 kills under his belt, has almost got his Black King bars, picked up drums and phase boots, so he's moving very, very quickly. Ultimate is thrown down on top of this Nature's Prophet. Nature's Prophet's trapped himself in with that rocket barrage and that flat cannon. 1, 2, 3. Nature's Prophet is definitely going to get out of that one. Very, very close. Probably 2 more attacks from that Gyrocopter, and he would have got it. Little bit of coming out from the Gyrocopter. He knows how close he was. Just missed it. I think if he had popped a drum charge, he would have got it. How does that make you feel, J-Bone? So, with the 15-minute mark almost ticking over and noticing that the Dragon Knight has a Shadow Blade, just a quick look at the items. So Shadow Blade on the Dragon Knight, we've got a Yasha coming out on the Mirana. Mirana's still farming top lane, the Rubik's dewarding. We've got drums, all those items on the Gyrocopter. Meanwhile, we've got a Midas on the Nature's Prophet, drums and phase boots on the Luna. So Luna's almost the whole item behind the Gyrocopter. So a few little items up there. Just missed that arrow on the Weaver. They do have Sentry Ward mid though. They throw a net straight onto him. Weaver time-lapsed at the wrong opportunity. He was in the middle of taking all that damage. Time-lapsed straight into all that damage and now doesn't have anything to turn it around. But Treant Protector does have that living arm to sort of add that little bit of regen to the Weaver. Weaver also has that Perseverance, adding a fair bit of regen to himself. So he will be able to heal it up. Just put himself in the danger zone for a little bit there. Great Ice Path on top of the Rubik. Rubik's going to take a lot of damage from 1, 2... Nope, is able to pick up the Jakiro and slam it down into the Dragon Knight, stunning him, and he's able to get away. So... I'm guessing Gyrocopter just cleared out a massive wave of treants with flat cannon. So much money. But yes, these supports on the Dire team are having a bit of a rough time. Net worth way down for the supports on the Dire team compared to the supports on the Radiant team. And if we look at what's the hero level? Yes, hero level, yes, way down as well. So yeah, the supports on the Dire team compared to the Radiant team are having a fairly rough time. And that's sort of one of the problems that you get for having a super defensive tri-lane, is that you can't really hunt kills, and especially with heroes like Rubik and Treant Protector, you can't really farm the jungle together. So one thing that you sort of want to look for in a Mirana did manage to just get a solo kill on the Nature's Prophet. That's going to hurt the Dire team again. But yes, as I was saying, that something that you sort of want to look for in support pairs is that when the two of them are roaming around together, you want to be able to combine their skills. So you want to be them to be able to like kill somebody solo if there's the two of them together, possibly with another hero pet. So they want to add to the killing power, or you want them to be able to farm the jungle together. Just sort of find the levels, find the farm that way. That's one of my suggestions for picking when you're picking support pairs, and this support pair, the Treant Protector and the Rubik, can't really do that too well. But they can find out this... that sleep! That sleep from the Naga Siren! The Mirana managed to disjoint one of the attacks, just getting away, but Luna's come around, managed to pick up one kill. Naga Siren sneaks away with that Mirana ult going off. Dragon Knight managed to find the kill on the Rubik, and Dragon Knight's sneaking away with that Shadow Blade. The Mirana's ult has just worn off, and he did manage to just use the Shadow Blade, but walks straight over the top of the Sentry Ward. Is he going to get out of the way of the Sentry Ward? No, he's going to go down. Weaver gets the last hit on that Dragon Knight there. So, massive turnarounds on both sides. That Naga ultimate allowing the Mirana to get away, but epic turnaround. Dragon Knight did manage to pick up the kill on the Rubik, but he paid for it. Ran over the top of that Sentry Ward, and they found him. Nature's Prophet straight in on top of it. All the while, this Gyrocopter is continuing to farm. If you look at the net worth, the Gyrocopter is definitely sneaking past the Luna, but... Sorry, not the Luna, the Weaver. But if you have a look, the next three in line after the... Oh, there we go. Arrow straight onto the Nature's Prophet. Mirana's going to run in. Starstorm 1, 2. Yes, does get another solid kill on that Nature's Prophet. And that that ticks another 2 Radiant heroes up above the Nature's Prophet. So I was about to say that the next 3 heroes are on the Dire team, but that's not the case anymore. That was an important kill on the Nature's Prophet, taking down his gold reserves. That Midas adding to his gold reserves, but it's not reliable gold. It's all unreliable gold, so he will lose a fair chunk of it when he dies. Alright, so wandering around, ticking over to almost the 20-minute mark. This Weaver has almost got a Lincoln Sphere, has got there we go, an ultimate orb on the courier. Pings are happening on the middle lane, I'll just go visit this. Rubik almost got caught out by a stun, and Net was thrown out by the Naga Siren. Naga Siren doesn't have a hole. There we go. Arrow straight into it. This Mirana has been on the ball with those arrows. Naga Siren throwing out that Net, that 3-second hold into that arrow. That arrow just nicked him as the Rubik was wandering away. Excellent arrow from that Mirana. And this has paved the way for the Radiant team to take this tower. Do we have... Yes, we do have the Dragon Knight ultimate. That's going to be a lot of damage, and that's going to burn through that tower so quickly. All the heroes dodge the swarm coming out. Arrow going straight into the Luna. Luna teleported in. Still has an ultimate. Stun's been thrown in by the Dragon Knight. Just missed out on getting his ultimate. So that Luna didn't get that ultimate off, and that's basically secured this tower for the Radiant team. But they're doing their best. All 4 heroes have come back in. The Nature's Prophets teleported in. A bunch of heroes doing heaps and heaps of damage to the Radiant team. And this tower is being healed back up by the Living Armor. It's not going down. An ultimate was thrown out by the Jakira, but that didn't kill anyone. Managed to back off, but the Dragon Knight sneaks back in under the cover of Mirana's ultimate. Picks it off and Shadow Blades away, but I think the Jakira is going to pay for it. Weaver's coming in, chasing this Jakira down. 1-2 hits. Boom, and then the Gyrocopter comes in, finds some of the support. One attack, no, the Rubik just gets away, doing heaps and heaps of damage to this Nature's Prophet. But the Weaver's doing heaps and heaps of damage to this Gyrocopter. He's going to be able to plant a few hits. One more hit, does he get? No, he turns around, decides to... Oh, Shikuchi back in after him. He does have a missile chasing him in. One attack, Swarm goes in, does get the kill on the Gyrocopter. Gets hit by the missile and hit by an arrow, so on very, very little low life. One attack, and the Germinate attack's coming in! Gets the double kill. Kills the Gyrocopter with the Germinate attack and kills the Mirana with the Germinate attack. Boom! Now that is a chasing Weaver. Sneaks away on very little life and is able to heal up. Gets an invisibility rune just to secure his escape. That was interesting. That was huge. People were dying all over the place. The Radiant team did manage to get a tower. Dire team losing that tower. So, interesting exchanges. There was... The Radiant team lost 2 really critical heroes, lost the Gyrocopter, lost the Mirana in that fight, so that's quite big for the Dire team, and I think it was almost worth the trade of the tower. So if you see here the experience dipping back towards the Dire's favour, the money sort of spiked and sort of sitting about even, went up and down a little bit, so the gold is sort of sitting as it was before. But yes, I feel that is definitely a big kill. That will get the Weaver, yes, as you see, that will give Weaver his Lincoln Sphere. So, he's going to be so much harder to kill now. He's going to be dodging a lot of spells on the Radiant team. He's going to be dodging Dragon Tail, Arrow. He's going to be dodging Net from the Naga Siren as well. Although, Homing Missile can be used to pop the Lincoln Sphere. So... something to watch out for. 2 wards sitting up here from both teams. The support, they want to deward it. They know it's there. One of the teams know that it's there, and I feel the Dire team are just a little bit too scared. The Radiant team are still sitting in the Dire's jungle, and they're looking for it. So, interesting note here, thing to note, so the Gyrocopter has picked up Helmet Dominator, giving him that extra lifesteal, but he has dominated this creep, so he's able to pull and stack the Ancient Camp with that creep that he has dominated. So excellent use, excellent. Oh, we got the Nature's Prophet coming in, going after the courier. Nature's Prophet manages to snipe off the courier. Shadow Blade is on a 5-second cooldown, but I don't think any of the Radiant team are going to be able to come in close enough. The teleportation is 2-1. Nope. none of the Radiant team are going to be able to find him there. He can invis and teleport away very, very safely. So there is an excellent snipe off for the Dire team. That will add a fair bit of gold to their pockets, and that will take away the courier from the Radiant side for a good 3 minutes. And with that snipe off, all the Radiant backing off that gives the supports the excellent, like the perfect opportunity to de-ward those spots. So, very, very important. While it's just a courier, very important kill for the Nature's Prophet. From the Nature's Prophet. So, with that loss of ground and that loss of courier for the Radiant team, they're backing off and they're sort of going into farm mode again. So they're going to want to get that courier up, get a few, just sort of farm while it's safe. They want to be able to ferry things like wards out to them. They want to be able to gain that ground back that they just lost by backing off trying to get the Nature's Prophet. And until then, they're just going to sort of sit in farm mode, looking to get another core item. So Dragon Knight's going for that BKB. Gyrocopter has picked up his BKB again. And Mirana's going for a Manta Star. Lost the name of it for a moment there. But yes, there we go. Weaver's Lincoln Sphere doing... Yeah, so Weaver's Lincoln Sphere can be popped by the homing missile. Homing missile doesn't even have to connect, can just be cast. And that is a perfect use for level 1 homing missile. It's got a 20-second cooldown. Lincoln Sphere has a 20-second cooldown. So every time the Gyrocopter sees that Weaver, just throw homing missile. It just takes the Lincoln Sphere out of the fight. Nature's Prophet's being taken down. 1, 2, 3, yes, boom! That Ice Path cancelling that TP. And will they be able to get the deny? Yes, they do. Jakiro gets the deny, even underneath the catapult and the extra creeps from the Nature's Prophet. So, excellent kill and excellent deny for the Radiant team there. That will put them even further ahead. Now, when I say even further ahead, I'm getting really bad at judging who's ahead. Looking at these graphs, I keep thinking that one team is ahead, but no, it's the other team. Yeah, they're just never what I expect them to be, so seems I need a little bit of practice here. Rubik's picked up Flak Cannon, not the best spell. If you can try and steal... As a Rubik, if you can steal arrow, it's a fantastic spell to steal, because you can lift someone up and go arrow straight into them. That gives you like a good 4 seconds of 4 seconds of disable on somebody. And if you're able to turn around, you sort of lift someone up, turn around, throw it, and if you're still able to land that, can get even more disable on them. Just adds another disable to your team. Very, very interesting spell to pick up. But yes, a lot of those sort of skill shot spells, such as Sacred Arrow, so much easier with Rubik. Another great one is Torrent from Kunkka. If you just lift someone up, just go Telekinesis and then Torrent straight after it, like, you can't miss. You literally can't miss. There's Torrent, free Torrent on a hero. And then if any other heroes come in to try and help, they get torrented and stunned. What more could you want? Fantastic. Alright, this Nature's Prophet continuing to do split push has picked up that Shadow Blade. But the Radiant team don't even need to buy detection. They just cop a stun. Nature's Prophet just cops a stun straight to the face. He does have this Sentry Ward revealing them. The Sentry Ward was pre-placed, and they did manage to go straight through that living armor that was placed on top of it, out damaging the two sort of core heroes amongst the Dragon Knight as well, Tricore. 2 core heroes just way out damaging that living armor, just attacks way too fast. Weaver's going head to head with this Dragon Knight. Oh, connects the arrow again. No Sentry Ward this time. The Rubik comes in, picks somebody up. Stun thrown onto the Weaver. Weaver managed to block it with the Lincoln Spear. Nature's Prophet fought back, threw his ultimate out. The Murano used his ultimate, and Nagasaran's taken a lot of damage, gets caught in the trees, uses his ultimate. He's going to be able to get away. Weaver will be able to chase, but no, the Jakiro throws skills straight on top. All those skill shots straight on top. The Nagasaran's still in here. Weaver comes in, throws out one Germinate attack, gets him. Nature's Prophet in a bit of a dangerous situation, but this Weaver can
try and pick up this kill on this Mirana. The Dragonite does get the kill on Nature's Prophet. Weaver is fighting underneath the Sentry Ward at the moment and is going to have to run away. Could have possibly picked up the kill on the Mirana. Excellent ult from the Nature's Prophet. That's going to stop a lot of attack, but Gyrocopter just BKB straight out of it and flat cannon the hell out of all the supports. Weaver sneaking away on 400 life. Rubik sneaks away as a tiny little dragon on 12 life. So great ultimate from the Tram Protector. Excellent counter initiation, I guess. Counter tactics, counter strategies from the Radiant team. The Gyrocopter just popping that BKB straight away, and as soon as the Dire team turned around to engage on top of that ultimate, they just copped flat cannons to the face. So much damage to the face, and surprise, this Gyrocopter can still attack. Haha! But yes, excellent team fight from both teams. Sort of managed to pick off a few key targets from both sides, got a few key plays in, and I sort of feel that they both came out fairly even though the Radiance is shooting up. That's an interesting gold grab. Yeah, gold just sneaking back into the Radiant's favor. Dragonite's going up against this Weaver head to head. Dragonite does have the... No! Yes! No! Yes! He had to pop the BKB, or that may have been a misclick as well. Pop the BKB, then pop the Shadow Blade to get away. So that's a bit of a win for the Weaver and the Nature's Prophet ultimate, managing to pop a BKB charge on the Dragon Knight. So that's gonna get his get his duration down sooner. Get it going quickly. Both teams stacking the Ancients, so the Luna has stacked the Ancients on this side. Well, probably the supports have stacked the Ancients for the Luna. Luna does have a Helm of the Dominator. They don't have a creep there, though. But Gyrocopter has been stacking the Ancients on this side as well, so both teams stacking the Ancients, trying to get that bit of extra farm, that bit of extra boost to both teams. Luna's picked up a BKB, looking to get a Manta Style as well, so adding to that push. Manta Style could be a bit of a questionable item, as the Radiant team do have a lot of area of effect. They have the Dragon Knight's Elder Dragon form, as well as the Gyrocopter's Flat Cannon, are going to shred any illusions that come out from this Luna pretty quickly. So, a bit of a questionable choice of item. Could have possibly just gone straight for a Butterfly. Nature's Prophet, two supports have managed to find this Nature's Prophet off in the hills there, and they do pick him off. Massive ultimate from the Jakiro, just thrown straight on top of the Nature's Prophet. All that damage, no way he can get out of it. Pings are happening on the top tower, so with the security of that kill, and then there's going to be no split push from the Nature's Prophet, they're going to go. Radiant team's going to go for the top tower. Pushing straight in. We've got a few key items. Just take a quick look. So we've got Mechanism, all that good stuff. The Gyrocopter's picked up the Eagle Song as well, well on his way to Butterfly. There we go. Eagle Song, well on his way to Butterfly. And they're going to go straight into this tower. One little hit from the Dragon Knight. Nope. Liquid Fire's doing its work though, stopping that attack. And the Radiant are a bit scared to initiate. The Weaver does cop an arrow to the face. That was a very early time lapse. Weaver didn't take much damage at all, and I think that was a bit of a mistake. Didn't manage to catch cooldown 3. The Tram Protector counter straight away with Overgrowth, but it just catches two heroes and they BKB straight out of it. Catching Rubik just on the tip of the ice path there. Arrow goes through, misses everyone. Dragonite's legging it back out. The ultimate has been used by Mirana, so all the heroes are invis at the moment. But they're going straight back into the tower. They're going to find this Weaver, throw, ice path. Nope. The Luna's reinitiating. They're coming straight back in. They're rocketing in, doing so much damage. Arrow lands straight on top of the Weaver. The Mirana wants to kill. They did get the kill on the tower, but these two heroes are just so fast. There's no way this Mirana's going to get away. Missed that leap. Didn't get out of there. Was looking for the leap out. But these two heroes, you just can't run away from. Luna's got 442 move speed. That's without the phase boots activated. So click those phase boots. Jumps up to basically 500 move speed. That's almost max move speed without even using a drum charge. That is huge. You can't run away from that.
Middle tower is under attack.
Gyrocopter has picked up a butterfly though, so that's going to be spelling a few problems for the Dire team. Weaver's picked up a going for a Daedalus, hasn't opted for the Monkey King bar. Could have been a good option as they, both the Marana and the Gyrocopter. Gyrocopter almost always goes for a butterfly these days. It's a fairly solid item on him, increasing that attack speed, increasing that damage and survivability. It's a pretty good item on the Gyrocopter, and a lot of Gyrocopters get it. So, could have been a bit preemptive going for that Monkey King bar. Could have gone for the Monkey King bar instead of the Daedalus, so that butterfly is going to spell a few problems for the Dire team for that reason. None of the massive damage dealers, Nature's Prophet, the Luna, or the Weaver are going to be able to sort of do any damage through that. None of them have Monkey King bars, and there's no other real burst damage apart from the Luna's ultimate on that team. So Marana's ultimate has been used. I think the Weaver just caught the end of that. Ice Path straight on top of the Weaver. Lots of things are going to be blown. Is he going to be able to? He isn't able to time lapse out of that. And that is Aegis burned straight away. The Luna turned around, came in, thought about ulting, but turned around, ran away. Nope, he comes back in, ults on top of the Marana. He's the only one in sight. A little bit of damage going on to Illusions as well as the Jakira, but the Dragonite does manage to pick up the kill on the Weaver. Dragonite also out in front as that Treant Protector comes in from behind, uses his ultimate. They get the kill on the Luna as well. So that is 3 really important kills for the Radiant team, and this could be GG right here. They're going straight for the racks. Could be GG, I say that, but the Nature's Prophet's doing that split push thing. Has used his ultimate, did get involved a little bit. He's going to take out the tier 2 tower. Is he going to teleport out? He is. Nature's Prophet's going to teleport back in, so he's coming back into the fight. Radiant team have burned through the tier 3 tower, and they're going straight for the racks. Treants are coming in. This Rubik sort of standing off to the side, doesn't really want to do much. They can't really do much. There's nothing the Dire team can do without their 2 main damage dealers. And sort of the Radiant team know this. Radiant team are going straight onto the tier 3 tower on the top lane. The little bit the living armor was thrown on, trying to stop as much damage as possible, but it's just not nearly enough. There's too much tower damage, too much attack damage going onto these buildings. Hurts. Excellent arrow from the Marana clips that Rubik, and Gyrocopter's going to capitalize on it. Picks up the kill on the Rubik, and then they're going straight back to the racks. Melee racks is down, ranged racks is down, and there's a GG from one of the players. Nature's Prophet tried, did his best at that split push. Dire team did their best. They tried. Didn't have quite the same team composition as the Radiant team. I think it was sort of a little bit spelled out from the beginning, but Dire team definitely gave a valiant effort. They did quite well in that defensive trial and that extra damage from the Luna. I think they needed 2 different supports, and they would have had a really solid team and would have had a lot of fun in this match. Really interesting match to watch, great match to cast and to critique. Thank you everyone for watching, thank you everyone on YouTube for watching as well. Fantastic, and thank you everyone for playing. Alright, this is Project Swift signing out.